have our gold sponsor speaker, who is Georgia Kalyva. And so Microsoft enables digital transformation from the era of an intelligent cloud and an intelligent edge. It has a mission to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. Please welcome Georgia Kalyva, Microsoft Technical Trainer, API Central Management, and Security with Azure.
Yes.
Everyone?
Hello. Welcome, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your coffee break, and let's go to a lightning talk now to talk about API Central Management and Security with Azure. Before we get started, just a little bit about me. Currently, I'm in Microsoft a technical trainer, but before joining Microsoft, I have worked a lot in software development, solution architecture, and I am very passionate about AI technology, so I was a Microsoft AI MVP. Feel free to follow me in the social media, my Twitter, my LinkedIn, and currently I teach multiple courses ranging from Azure administration to Azure development or solution architecture. In my free time, I love games, any types of games, whether physical activity, traveling, sketching or painting, and I have a little bit of a musical background. So let's get started. In this quick session, we'll talk about what API management is, some scenarios you might have run into, and we don't have, unfortunately, time for a real-life demo, but I will show you some screenshots of the service if you're interested. So, does any of this sound familiar? We're working with another company, and they want for us to deliver front end, for example, but their APIs are not ready, and they won't be for us to have adequate time to develop that front end for them. Do you have legacy APIs without authentication developed 15 years ago, and someone comes in and says, well, the developer has left the company, but now we want to make it more secure without writing any code. Is that possible? Or maybe you're just having so many APIs that you're starting to lose track and there are vulnerabilities going around. Well, this is where API management comes in. The API management service in Azure brings us centralized management, whereas we can put the API management service in the front, and then on the back we have everything else, our operations, our APIs, and we have more functions like developer productivity. We can get business insights and logging, security, and protection. We can also use the API management to group different APIs, whereas otherwise we would have to manage them differently, create documentation scenarios, and all this kind of nightmare. Because let's face it, when you have an API, maybe it has 10 operations, but not all are relevant to people we work with or of a specific application. The components of the service are very simple. There are 3. The API gateway. The handling and everything, the administration of the service happens through the Azure portal, and there's also a developer portal available to make our life a little bit easier. So essentially, the API management acts as a central gateway, as we can see in this schema here. So it sits between our APIs and our services and our client applications, which can be mobile apps, desktop apps, other APIs, I don't know, depending on your scenario. So the API gateway can act as a reverse proxy. It can help you route requests between the client application and the backend APIs. It can help you even aggregate those requests. So maybe you want 1 call from the front end, and it needs 5 calls in the back end. That's possible. And it can also perform tasks like authentication, SSL offloading, rate limiting, and other things, okay? So it's very easily manageable because instead of sharing multiple links with our developers, our customers, our partners, we give them one link, one base link, which is the gateway endpoint. And by using this endpoint, they have access to all of those multiple APIs. So the service looks a little bit like this. This is a handling part. I don't know how much of it you can see it, but on, well, my right at least, you can see a lot of options here. We can create and import different APIs from different endpoints, okay? So we can group everything here. As soon as we group them, we can do something called putting them into products. So I can have 2 or 3 endpoints that are part of the same application. They support the same application. I can do that by using products. And then I can create authentication either by using the Azure Active Directory, simple username passwords, or even subscription keys directly in the API management, even if the API itself doesn't have any authentication. We can also use what we call policies. And these policies do not require you to rewrite any code. So you can turn an XML response to a JSON response just by writing a little sentence. Okay? All of this can happen through the API management. Also, it gives us a developer portal. It's based on Swagger, but it's very beautiful, as you can see, and you can create your own colors and branding here. It has a nice user interface that you can, without any developer experience, just put the boxes in the proper places, put the proper colors, and create something like this, where developers can go in and subscribe to APIs. So this can even be public, can be private. You can create roles here, whereas a developer can have a guest role and have access just to one API or one product, or someone else is an administrator and can see the full suite of APIs you have. Why would you do that? Well, kind of saves us a little bit of documentation in a nice, pretty user interface. But also, they can use this interface to try out those APIs by using all the methods we talked about. So, this is it for me regards to the API management. Feel free to browse the service. You can do it free of the Azure portal. You will definitely need an Azure subscription to do that. But other than that, it's pay as you go. There's different tiers based on your needs. And then it's up to you how you can use it to secure and centrally manage all your APIs. Thank you very much. Okay, please find me on LinkedIn. Find us in our booth if you need to talk about this more, or you can see a real demo in the booth. Find us for swag or join our workshop at 3, I think, today in the other hall. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ria.